indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First item on the agenda is the Native American presentation. The Geiger sisters are going to do a 30-minute presentation on Native American history.
It is the responsibility of the school district to provide an educational environment that is not culturally hostile. First, we'll go over some of the key problems with using Native American mascots, and next we'll continue to demonstrate through educational research on the topic. Using this mascot provides for stereotyping Native culture and prevents actual cultural history from being taught. Eagle feathers are a sacred symbol in Native American culture. They are an integral part of religious ceremonies. So the use of the Clinton logo does not teach these communities about the culture. Instead, it insults Native spirituality with its capital use of the logo. The Clinton School's logo here depicts a spiritual leader. He wears those sacred eagle feathers. Would you honor a priest or a rabbi by stepping on their face on a gym floor? This disrespect of spiritual leaders should have no place in the school system, and the misuse communicates a further disrespect of Native spirituality and national origin. These organizations have researched these issues intensively, and in many cases, extensive psychological research has been performed. The Michigan Civil Rights Commission has a resolution on the American Indian mascot saying that it prevents children from forming a positive identity and developing appropriate and healthy levels of self-esteem. The Michigan Educational Association also has one that's saying as long as Native team names, mascots, and logos are a part of schools' athletic programs, you are educators as tolerating and you're perpetuating racism and stereotyping. The NAACP also has a resolution for this, and they're here, and they will read that for you tonight. The Michigan Commission on Indian Affairs also has a resolution that urges the removal of these mascots. So does the U.S. Commission on Civil Rights. Also, the State Board of Michigan has a resolution. Here we'd like to highlight the tribes and Native American organizations in Michigan that have spoken out against such mascots. We have the Little Traverse Bay Band of the Ottawa Indians, condemning the use of Indian likenesses or cultural items in mascots and logos, as well as the Namasseki Huron Band of Potawatomi. They also formalized their opinion by condemning these logos. The Little River Band of Ottawa Indians Tribal Council resolution has the same resolution to remove these mascots from schools as does the Gunley Tribe Band of Potawatomi Indians resolution. The Grand Traverse Band of the Ottawa and Chippewa Indians also endorse this, as does the Sault Ste. Marie Tribe of Chippewa Indians. The Great Lakes Tribal Intercouncil also recommends this, so does the Woodland Indian Community Center. If your team name were the Pittsburgh Negroes, the Kansas City Jews, the Houston Hispanics, Chicago Chicanos, or the San Francisco Asians, and someone from these communities found it offensive and asked you to change them, would you not change the name? Now, Native Americans are an underrepresented minority, but despite the public opposition by almost every Native American organization in the United States, non-Native American response to formal requests for this elimination are frequently met with denial, defensiveness, and dismissiveness. So by continuing to use Redskins as a mascot, the school is simply institutionalizing racism. No other racial slur would be considered appropriate for use in school, so why is this one? A systematic implementation of a new mascot is called for, and over time, as regularly purchased items need replacing, a new logo and mascot should replace the old. Thank you, and with that I would like to introduce Jim Farrar.
This is modern day America, dawn of the 21st century. But as human beings, America still has not afforded respect to the Native American. This skin that was stripped from the bodies of murdered Native Americans was called Redskins.
I want to be clear about one thing. I don't come here tonight to tell you what you must decide. I'm not here on behalf of any party. I'm here to say that in our experience when schools address this type of question, when they address it through an organized, professionally facilitated process, they cause less community division. We believe that the question you as a board should be asking today is a very simple one. Whether the mission of the Clinton schools is being served or hindered by use of the name Redskins. Even more importantly, we assert that any fair attempt at addressing this issue must begin with all parties accepting two basic truths. First, those who wish to keep the Redskins name are proud of what it stands for and don't believe that it offends anyone or anything. Second, regardless of the intent, many people do consider the term Redskin to be an offensive racial slur. This decision, this issue, could very possibly tear this community apart if you do not proceed thoughtfully and wisely.
First of all, Mr. Bridgebach, we did not invite you, and as you know, I have problems with the comments tonight. The Michigan Department of Civil Rights is supposed to be not take sides on any issues. Your department is supposed to be objective. They investigate complaints, and these complaints against this district regarding this school's name is in your office at this particular time. But with your participation tonight and given communication by representatives of your department to me and to our attorney this past week, it is clear that you are taking sides. Your participation here tonight is further evidence that this district is not being treated objectively in its defense with the 3 frivolous complaints that have been filed against this district to your organization. Remember what I said, please.
When the Supreme Court has ruled in support of use of Indian-related mascots, the majority of our community has voted in support of retaining the current mascot. Therefore, I move that we retain our current mascot, current logo, and current nickname.
According to Webster's Revised Unabridged Dictionary, it calls it, quote, a common name for a North American Indian. The Oxford English Dictionary calls the form redskin came from the reddish skin color of Native Americans. I'll also refer to the Wikipedia, which says, quote, that the often mentioned but not documented origin involves the bloody skins, redskins, of native people as prizes in which they were scalped after battle and their skins bought and sold in local towns. That's what we've been told. That's what we've heard repeatedly. However, and I go on to quote what Wikipedia says, to date, there is no historical documentation or evidence to support this theory. I have found the basic facts that the term's offensive and that Native Americans oppose it to be unfounded.
There's been a motion and a second to maintain the current mascot, the current logo, and current nickname. I will ask for a roll call vote on this issue. The motion has passed that we will keep our current nickname, current logo, and current nickname. Next portion of the meeting is public comment.
Everyone get up and leave. It's time for us. This is total disrespect. Right now.
We're supposed to be addressing the board.
Downtown, it says small town values. With all these people getting up, walking, and moving around when it's time for others to speak, they're small-minded people here in Clinton because they have They spent, what, half hour or more listening to your speech. This was for us to give our opinion and our public comment, but you had already made up your mind. You've made up your mind, but we've made up our mind that we are not done. We will be back with support and help. Thank you.